Hello and back to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at actually my favorite team so far. Of course I only played like 2 teams or whatever, but this team worked out so well. We have here the Metagross in the lead, we have our Say Swap of the Gyarados, and we have the Dragonite in the back. This team basically worked out so well. I gained so many points with this team. If I wouldn't switch up my teams for videos, I would definitely keep playing this team here, as I gained so much elo in the, I don't know, like 3 sets that I played. It was insane. I think I lost like 2 battles or something against like people, but like otherwise this team was just so unbeatable. It was so strong, especially against the current meta, where like there are a lot of Pokemon in the lead that are weak to Metagross, which makes it all way better. And now actually before this team had like a core breaker, which is still a little bit tricky to deal with, which would be the Excadrill. But now where the superpower is available for the Dragonite, it's not as bad, like not even close as bad as before. So now actually like Dragonite would win, I think, the 1 and 2 shields or something, or 0 shields and 1 shields or something like this against the Excadrill. So like you're basically fine. Maybe even every shield scenario, I'm not sure. Like I never had really the scenario there, but yeah. Otherwise you have here also Excadrill actually coming in here. The Gyarados is your Say Swap. Gyarados has access of course to the Aqua Tail against the Excadrill, which is nice. We have the Dragon Breath version, because this version is actually pretty nice. You're going to be able to bait out most fairy types, which is really good for your backline. And also against something like a Togekiss, you're still going to be able to go for 3 Aqua Tails, which allows you to get a shield unless they throw a charge move before, which they usually don't do, and it's pretty damn good. Like, to be honest, like Gyarados Say Swap still definitely one of the best, if not the best Say Swap in this current meta, as we can just farm down everything here right now and we will win this game. Next opponent, we're going to see a Togekiss in the lead. Again, there's a lot of fairy types currently in the lead, which is very nice for us. I could have maybe swapped out earlier here already. I just stay in for a little bit, go for 1 charge move, gives me some advantage. I wasn't sure if I can get like the advantage with the Pokemon that I have in the back. I'm waiting here for them to throw on Superpower, and now I can swap into my Gyarados, and now they have a lower defenses and they have a lowered attack stat, so now we can take those moves pretty easily and farm them down. In comes, of course, the Fairy type here with the Togekiss, but we can still go for 2 Aqua Tails, which are gonna put them into range, where we can farm them down with the Metagross as well. And I don't know if I, like in general right now, I'd swap into my Pokemon way too early. Like here, for example, I definitely should wait here, but I swap in immediately, and here you see kinda an issue. I remember this as well. Yeah, it's a little bit tricky if you swap in immediately if you didn't do... so like if you basically stayed in a little bit prior. Here we just keep 1 charge move, and this is very important, as we see here. They have no shields left anymore. We still have a shield left, but we also still have our Dragonite left. We will be able to KO their opponent's Garchomp, and like this point of time they actually throw a charge move for whatever reason, but there's no way that we will lose this game here, as we can go for this Media Mash against this Togekiss and still win the game here. It was actually my 100th win of this session there. So now I'm on the new page, like the final page for the research. It's still the same page basically. I really wish, like, I gave them so much feedback as well towards the Battle Pass. I really wish it was a little bit more complex and a little bit more better in terms of rewards. I still like them, like the Battle Pass is still a good addition because it's basically just free. So like, why would I really bother saying it's bad or anything like this? But they could have been like so much better. But here, for example, you see where if you basically throw your fast moves perfectly, you're going to be able to get to another move against the Togekiss. But I'm pretty sure that they're going to have another Fairy type in the back. So I'm going to go into my Dragonite here, and I'm going to farm down this Fairy type with my Dragon. And I was correct, they have this one in the back, and I predict them swapping in the Swampert, so I go for my Earthquake, and they did not expect this, and I can farm them down. This was also actually kind of a crazy play, because I literally just pressed Earthquake on accident. I'm not kidding, I just pressed it on accident. They swapped into their Swampert, and like I expected them to swap into their Swampert. Like it's not like this, but I just threw the wrong charge move on accident, which is kind of hilarious, because now we're going to be able to easily win the game because of this. But yeah, this was not skill, this was just me being a little bit stupid, to be honest. We actually battled this guy before in the last video as well already. You just, I guess, see all the same people in this Elo range, but he had a different team then already. He was the dude with the Bite Gyarados, if you remember this one. Yeah, like here we battle him again. Kind of funny that we battle each other in literally 2 videos now, back to back. Kind of hilarious. But we can just go ahead and go for an Aqua Tail here. I kind of want to realign, so they're going to shield here, which is smart by them because I cannot. Actually, I'm going to let this move go through. Okay, I can go into my Metagross, get some extra energy here, and we see the Snorlax coming in. Media Mesh going to be pretty nice here. I actually should stay in here, but I swap out into my own Dragonite. They swap into their Garchomp. I guess now it's fine. Before I was like, I should really stay in there because I can just KO everything with my Dragonite. But I'm going to let this move go through actually. It's going to be a Sand Tomb, and we will be able to go for another Dragon Tail or not. As they go for another charge move, I predict, never mind, I didn't predict it's a Sand Tomb, I just shielded. They had enough energy for Earth Power anyway, but I'm going to get enough energy here to go for one Meteor Mash. And this Meteor Mash gonna mash them down here. Good game there. Snorlax goes down as we see the next opponent having a Florges in the lead. Again, a lot of people run the same kind of matchup and lineups here. This is basically the team that I showcased first time. Definitely a good team, but this team kinda hardwalls this, which is very nice. But no, I played those battles mainly before the video even aired, so like I didn't take advantage of making a video first about one team and then making a video about a team that hard counters it. Actually, a lot of people actually comment this below my videos sometimes, but no, I don't. But yeah, we can just shield up, farm down. I'm pretty sure that they have something in the back that I can deal with my Gyarados and my Dragonite. Most likely some Steel type in the back. We have to see maybe some Garchomp in the back. Who knows? As we can go for more and more Aqua Tails, we will be able to go and get this thing pretty low. We can go into our Metagross. They're going to throw their charge move. Moonblast still going to do some nice damage, and they are going to go for another move here. I'm going to let this move go through as well. No, actually not. I'm going to shield this move up. It's going to be a Swampert. I don't know why I shield this one up. And Swampert is even better than any other version either. Like even I don't know, Garchomp would have been a little bit more problematic than this Swampert. They go for the Sludge Wave. I don't really care too much about it. I can just farm them all the way down. And they can go for another Hydra here. Well, we can go for some superpowers as actually we go for why do I go for a Dragon Claw? Ah, because they still have a shield left. Never mind. That's maybe not the stupidest idea I've ever heard. We can go for another one and still win this game there. My past me was definitely a little smarter than my current me here as we see a Conkeldurr coming in. Conkeldurr is a little bit interesting. The thing is, I kind of recognize the team out of my top team videos. So this is the problem with knowing the meta and doing some hard predicts. I could just flip switch here, but I'm pretty sure that if I don't flip switch here, I'm actually better off because I can get energy with my Metagross. And I'm pretty sure they also have a Metagross in the back. And I was correct. And like this, we have a ton of energy advantage. We can just go straight for Earthquakes, and we have literally nothing to worry about. Other than the Mamoswine, because Mamoswine's still going to be a little bit tricky. We have to see if they go straight, okay, they don't try to swap here, they go straight for the Earthquake and go down there. We can just try to farm it down, try to go for a charge move, and hope that this is not a Bulldoze, but it was an Avalanche, and we can go for a charge move here and win the game. But yeah, I think I would have had a really tough time against this team actually, if I didn't do the hard predict and say, okay, I'm pretty sure it's the team that I recommended. I'm just going to play hard for this and try to beat this team up, because otherwise I had definitely not a good time here. We see the opponent having a Gyarados with the Waterfall in the lead, which is very good for us as our backline really enjoys this. Like Gyarados with the Dragon Breath is a little bit trickier for this team, to be honest. Still manageable. I still beat it definitely several times with this team, but it's definitely a little bit more tricky as we see a Gyarados coming in here. Gyarados definitely doesn't like my charge moves here, as we can go ahead and go for more Aqua Tails and actually try to farm it down. I'm actually going to go ahead and shield this move up, because this allows me to realign. And this realignment is actually not really helping me too much. They have a Metagross in the back, and Metagross is kind of a thing, like the least annoying thing there. Like I really didn't want to see this thing there. It's just, yeah. This thing is a little bit tricky, as we can go ahead and shield this Earthquake up, but they still have 2 shields, so we have to go for another charge move here. And they still have the Gyarados in the back, and we get at least the final move here, like the final shield there, but there is not a lot that we can do here, I think. Or is there? We're actually going to be able to outspeed this thing to a superpower, which means we can KO them. And now it just depends on what the opponent is going to do. They have the waterfall version, which means unless they're gonna get like something like a defense drop by Crunch, we should be pretty fine here, right? Let's see. They go for Crunch. They get the defense drop. They win by 1 HP because of this. I love this game sometimes, a 30% chance to lose this game. And of course we're gonna get this chance after losing basically every kind of lead and switch and whatever. Very cool. Tried my best, but I guess I didn't succeed there, as we can catch a very nice Sandtomb here, most likely, onto our Gyarados. Gyarados likes the Sandtomb a lot, and they're actually gonna go ahead and go for more moves. I was like, maybe an Outrage, maybe a Shield worthy, but it wasn't a Shield worthy because it was another Sandtomb, and we see a Metagross coming in here. Going for 1 Crunch, of course, we don't get the debuff here, we can only go for 1 Awkward Tail here, but they're actually going to throw before that, which is fine for me, as we can go into our Dragonite, trying to farm this thing a little bit down and go for 1 Dragon Claw here. Dragon Claw will allow us to KO this Pokemon pretty easily, but they're going to shield up, which is even better for me, because this just means I can get more farm. And more farm is always nice, as they go ahead and go for an Excadrill there. Excadrill really will appreciate this superpower by Excadrill, as we can now farm it down also with our Metagross, and they just decide to surrender. Next opponent, as you see my Elo climbing up as well, my Elo is even higher now, we see a Metagross in the lead. This is kind of tricky, but also not, because we can just swap into our Gyarados. Even though we have a Dragonite in the back, a Dragonite against Gyarados is actually a pretty neutral matchup, and we can go ahead and go for some crunches here against this opponent Gyarados here, which is actually pretty decent for us. We basically seem to have the same team so far, and that's pretty okay for me, to be honest. I can go for 1 more Awkward Tail here, and I could go into my Dragonite here now. I go into my Dragonite now, and I will be able to farm all the way down. Whatever wants to come in has to take our Superpower here, which is going to be pretty nice for me. And I will be able to go for the Superpower now. They can have to shield it here unless they want to go down, and they want to shield it, and I can go for 1 Earthquake, and let's see what they want to do now, because this will KO them, and it does KO them. And we see a Garchomp in the back with Dragon Tail, which is just very good for me, because I'm actually thinking that the Dragon Tail version of Garchomp is really, really bad right now. Main reason is you just have such a focus on Fairy types, that you just have also such a focus on Steel types, that I don't really understand why you would want to run Dragon Tail, to be honest. Dragon Tail is of course neutral against a lot of things, but I don't know, like for me it doesn't really make too much sense, as we see a Togekiss coming in, and again we see a Snorlax in the lead, we see a Togekiss swapping in against us, which basically means to me they most likely run Double Charm. Double Charm is a very common team and a very solid team here in this meta, and we will see that we can go for 1 more Awkward Tail here. Awkward Tail will be able to get the final shield most likely, not the final shield, the first shield here from my opponent most likely, and we do the same thing that we did prior already. We go ahead and go into our Dragonite against a Fairy type, and we will be able to catch the Flamethrower. We will be able to go for another move here, and we will see a Sylveon coming in, which we don't really want to come in, and now we have the trickier matchup. We have the Metagross against the opposing Snorlax. I thought their shielding here was pretty decent for me, because now we can just snipe them with a Superpower later on. But it's a little bit more tricky, to be honest, as we can go ahead and try to go for another Medium Mesh, try to get this thing low. We are making a little bit of a mistake here, I'm not sure. I want to try to swap into my... yeah, I actually wanted to swap into my Dragon right now, but it didn't work out. They can still go for 1 Superpower, and I don't get to another move here. I was literally half a second late or something. That's kind of annoying, as we see the final opponent here having a Fairy type in the lead with the Florges and a Snorlax as a safe swap, which is of course very good for us, as we can go ahead and go for one Meteor Mash here. This Meteor Mash will do some nice damage against it. We can go into our Dragonite and let everything go through, as we don't really care about the Dragonite because it's going to get locked in against the Fairy anyway. What I'm actually going to do here now is I'm actually going to let some lick damage go through here, as we can farm it all the way down. We can go ahead and go for one superpower now, and they can farm us down even faster now, which is fine for us, as we can go back into our Metagross. But we actually switched lock now, and this was kind of a bad idea by me, as we are really in a tough spot now. We have to kind of catch the drill run on the what's it called, onto the Gyarados, which worked out pretty well here. And now I will still be able to survive one Rock Slide as far as I know, but we're still far behind. Like, it's still not an easy way to come back from this one. We can go for one more Awkward Tail here, as Awkward Tail will get the first shield from my opponent, and they will go into their Florges again, which means I have to farm it all the way down with my on Metagross. But the issue now is we're already so low because we were switch locked in. I could have went for the Awkward Tail, but I don't know why I didn't do this. And like this, we're going to have a little bit of a tough time here, and we're going to lose the final game, which is fine, by my own mistakes. So yeah, that's going to be it for the video. Thanks for watching. I really enjoyed this team, and I hope you enjoyed it too. Bye!